guys, good morning. Y'all ready? This is going to be nice and quick, and you don't even have a whole lot of homework, okay? All right, so today you're doing chapter 16, lesson 147, and this is map scales. Page 369. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is going to be really, it's not going to be so bad. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm going to show you this picture. You have a map. Move this arrow that way. You have a map. Okay, now here's what's funny about this. It's an actual lesson. It's an actual skill that you need to know. The funny thing is now with technology, you really don't need this as much, okay, because of technology. However, as y'all all, every one of you have noticed with this distance learning thing, can we rely on technology 100% of the time? The answer is no, okay? I tell students every time I try to teach something like this. I'm not talking about calculator. I'm talking about like your GPS, stuff that uses data, the internet, all that kind of stuff. Every time I try to teach that, I tell the kids, because you're a different generation, you're born into it, so you can't even imagine your life without it, right? Okay, well, your parents and the rest of the adults in the world actually like, yeah, well, sometimes things happen. Well, here you go. We're sitting smack dab in the middle of it. Technology is not 100% reliable. It's not. Just like can't believe everything you read on the internet. You can't always count on technology. When you got something like this going on, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have issues. So you need to kind of be able to know how to read maps and stuff like that. You actually do. It's old-fashioned, and you may never have to use it, but you still need to learn. It's also math, and it's you know, it's important to learn. Okay, so what this is right here, in fact, I'm not even going to use this. Yeah, forget that. This is called like a scale. This, whoops, where'd it go? That's a scale right there. And what that's saying is, this is an inch. This is an inch long, okay? If you used a ruler, I'm going to assume that that's an inch. Yeah, that's an inch, okay? But you don't need a ruler. If you have one, that'd be great. If you don't, who cares? I'm going to show you how to do this without a ruler. They're saying for every inch, see, for every inch is 300 miles. Half of an inch is 150 miles. Okay, so for every inch, it's 300 miles. So if from one town to another was 2 inches, how many miles would that be? So if 1 inch is 300 miles, then 2 inches would be 600 miles, etc. Half of an inch is 150 miles, okay? So what I'm going to do is take this piece of, whoops, there it is, this piece of paper. If you do not have a ruler, it's A-okay. And I'm going to mark it right here to right here. See that? And I'm going to put here. I'm going to put 300, and I'm going to put 150. Okay? So from here to here is, ooh, that's ugly. From there to there is 300. Okay, that's 1 inch. But we're looking for miles. Okay, so for the first question, it says Oklahoma City. Okay, that's Oklahoma. To Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay, so we're going to go. It says use the map above and a ruler. You don't need a ruler. I'm going to show you why you don't need a ruler to complete the chart. They want to know approximate how many miles is it from Oklahoma City to Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, so we're looking at our little map. Here's Oklahoma City and here's Little Rock, Arkansas. So look, I'm putting my little scale there, and I've got the 0, remember this is 0, on Oklahoma City, and then the other one is on Little Rock. So how many miles approximately is Oklahoma City to Little Rock, Arkansas? 300. So for number 1 on my paper, it's 300 miles. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is Richmond, Virginia to Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, Richmond, Virginia to Raleigh, North Carolina. I had a ruler somewhere around here. I don't know what they did with it. If you use the ruler, by the way, on this, I'm going to use my little protractor here. And I can measure it. See that? I have the 0 right here on Oklahoma City, and 1 inch is to Little Rock. That's 300 miles. Okay? All right, so this next one is Richmond to Raleigh. So we're going to look on here, and there is Richmond, and there's Raleigh. Okay? So I'm going to use my paper thing that I did here. Well, we're supposed to go from Richmond to Raleigh, so I'm going to do it right. I'm putting that 0 right there on, see, there's Richmond right there, and there's Raleigh right there. So I'm putting 0 on Richmond, and oh, look, Raleigh, from Richmond to Raleigh is how many miles? That's right, 150. So for number 2, is 150 miles. Now, if I were to use this handy dandy ruler / protractor, and we're going from Richmond to Raleigh, put the 0 right there on Richmond, and if you look at Raleigh, here's my inch, it's halfway, so that would be 150. But you're probably noticing that they tell you to use a ruler. You see how my little scale here that I drew, that's going with this? See how I did that? It's working a little bit better, isn't it? That's right. Miss Rogers knows. Okay. Now, number 3 is we're going from Little Rock to Tallahassee, Florida. Ooh, that's going to be a drive. Little Rock to Tallahassee. All right, here we go. Little Rock, Arkansas is right here. Tallahassee, Florida is right there. All right, look. Here's what I'm doing. I got to go to right here. I got my 0 on Little Rock, but I got to go all the way down to here. So here's what I would do. I'm going to close this off. You could either extend this and measure it, or mark on your paper. I can't do that on this because this is my master. Mark on your paper, put a dot right here, and move it. See that? So I have Little Rock. Here's where the inch ends. So I'd put a dot right there on my paper and scoot this down and measure up that 0 with the dot. And then here the 300 ends here. So if you notice, from here to here's how many miles? 300, right? And then from here to here, that's another 300. So then how many total miles is it from Little Rock to Tallahassee? 600 miles. So 3 is 600 miles. Now, if you had a ruler in this time, watch this, from Little Rock to Tallahassee, put the 0 right there on Little Rock, and look at that. That's when it would be helpful. It ends at 2, or approximately 2, okay? For y'all in 5th grade, you're lucky. It's not, anyway. So that's 2 inches. If every inch is 300, that's 300, and that's 300, so it's 600. Or you could say, for 1 inch is 300 miles, and there's 2 inches, you could do 300 times 2. And that gives you 600. All right. Number 4. I only have 2 more to do, guys. Frankfort to Charleston. Frankfort, Kentucky to Charleston, West Virginia. All right, here we go. Here's Frankfort, and here's Charleston. So I'm getting my little thing here. Frankfort to Charleston. Well, look at there. Frankfurt's at 0. Charleston is right there at what? Approximately. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact. So approximately 150. Whoops. Now, again, if you want to use a ruler like they suggested, you certainly can. You put the 0 right there on Frankfort and measure to Charleston, and it comes up half of an inch. See, here's 1 inch, so it's half of an inch. And if 1 inch is 300 miles, then half of 300 is 150. All right, number 5. Last one, boys and girls, and then I'm setting you free. Ooh, Austin. I'm glad they included Texas. Austin, Texas to Montgomery, Alabama in the South Final. Okay. My husband's from Alabama. Here's Austin. I hope you guys know that. If I was your history teacher, I'd be making y'all learn all the capitals in the United States. In fact, there's a game. I digress. I got to look it up, and I might even message y'all. It's a fun game. You can have your parents do this. If your parents are at home for this quarantine thing and they're kind of bored, I'll have to look it up. It's see how many states you can name within a couple of minutes, and you can't cheat or anything. Watch how your parents struggle with that. It's a fun game to do. All right, back to this. I hope you know that Austin's the capital of Texas. If you don't, Austin is the capital of the best state in the entire United States. Okay, so Austin to Montgomery, Alabama. I'm going to get my little thing here. All right, so here we go again. We got to go from here, because it's at 0, to right here. Well, our thing doesn't go that far, so that's 300. So I'm going to mark right here 300, because we've done 1 inch, right? So I'm going to pretend that I put a dot here. Again, I would, if this was an extra sheet, or if I was doing this in the classroom, I'd put a dot right here. But this is my master, and I don't have a printer. So now I'm going to move this over and put that 0 right there. I'm still not there yet. So that's another 300, because that's another inch. So I'm writing it down. Then I'd put a dot right here where that ends. Move it down, and look at there. It ends at the 150. So then I put 150 here and add. Okay, you would get 0, 5, and what is this? 3 and 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So for 5, it would be 750 miles. Of course, the last one's going to be the hardest. Let's look at that using a ruler. Remember, every inch is 300 miles. So if I were to just do this, this is terrible. You know what? It's because it's a stupid protractor. All right, so this right here is about, if you had a normal ruler, it would work. This is a stupid protractor. All right, so from here to here is supposed to be 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches, okay? So that's 300, and then another 300, and then 150. Again, you get 750 miles. Let's look at that again with my little measuring thing, okay? Because that's going to be the hardest for y'all. But seriously, you can do it. And be glad you're not in 6th or 7th grade having to do this, because theirs is kind of weird. All right, so I'm measuring with my little scale that I drew. From here to Louisiana is 300 miles. Remember, 1 inch is 300, so I wrote down 300 so I didn't forget. You would place a dot right there, and I'm just putting my pen there so I don't forget, and then you move this down. Okay, so from here to right here on the border of Mississippi and Alabama, it's another 300 miles. So I wrote down 300, put a dot here, or just hold it, and then from that dot to Montgomery is 150 miles. So I put 150, added up, and get 750. All right, that's it. So for homework, you are doing, my daughter's standing in the kitchen, junior in high school, honor student, and she's going to be so mad when she hears what y'all have to do for homework. You're doing page 369, and you're doing numbers 1 through 6 all. And it appears that number 1 is already done for you. So basically, you've got 5 problems to do for homework. Okay, so 5 problems. It's due, see, today's Thursday. No, but this is tomorrow's work. So this is Thursday, so it's due Friday. Okay, due Friday. All right, and you have, let's see, what class is this? 5th grade? You have IXL due Tuesday. And you have a quiz Monday. All right, guys? Okay. Sadie, I need to hear from you. Sadie. Guys, I have not heard from her. Have her text me. Here's my number. Tell her to contact Mrs. Rogers. Talk to y'all later. Bye.